Hello, Facebook. Michelle Kramer here, coming to you live. Your Live Abundantly Life and Health coach. This is Eli. Camera's over there, buddy.
What?
You gotta look there.
I can't. The light.
So he's gonna help me out today with part 2 of our series on my series, or whatever, on trusting God more. So Eli, share your verse, one of your memory verses with everybody.
Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. Don't assume that you know it all.
Okay, so that was super fast and hard to understand. So can you do it again a little bit slower for those who can't keep up with you?
Sorry, I talked fast.
Okay, do it again.
Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. Don't assume that you know it all.
So why is that one of your verses? Well, first of all, where's it at? Do you remember?
Jeremiah?
Oh, that's Jeremiah 29:11, dear.
Isaiah?
He doesn't remember. And I don't either. Because he has like 6 memory verses. But that's okay. You get the idea. And I'll look it up and post later. So what does that verse mean? Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice.
It means don't be a tattletale.
No, well, no. That's not what it means.
Well,
Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. What does this mean?
It means you should always follow God, and that you should never just be a know-it-all.
Yeah. Is that why you have that verse? You kind of a know-it-all. Thank you, Angela. Look, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. We can never remember where they're found because there's so many of them. He knows. Actually, one of these days I'm going to have them both recite all their verses because they each know like 6 or 7. It's really cool. So
Not happening in 2 years, Mom.
whatever. Okay.
Not happening.
So he's a bit of a show off here. All right. I think that's good of you. I will take it from here. Thank you, dear. Mwah. Tell everybody bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay. So the thing that I want to talk about on this one is trying to stay out of it, to stay out of the situation that you're trying to trust God for, okay? A great personal example for me is when in 2015 we had our house on the market. We were supposed to sell it, and it was delay after delay, long drawn out process. We've packed the whole house. Some of you already know this story, so I'm trying to make it short. 3 days before we were supposed to move, we found out that it really wasn't going to happen, which we thought many times that it might not. But it was 8 weeks of delays. It was a horrible experience. And there was one point during the whole experience that we had picked out this house. We had it under contract and we were super excited about it. And we had gotten to this point where the couple we were buying from was not willingly moving forward without a crap load of money in escrow that we didn't have. So it really was like, if I let this go, then that means I've given up. And that means I don't trust God. But the reality was I didn't, by not letting it go, I wasn't trusting him. And God revealed to me that I always say that I trust him, but I'm always his secretary. And what I mean by that is, here, God, this is your job. This is your thing. But let me cross the T's and dot the I's, and let me make the phone calls, and I'll do the little piddly things for you so you don't have to worry about that stuff and you can just do the big stuff. And when that happened, God removed anything that I could have done. I was always trying to find a way that I could help God make something happen, make things easier on God. And with that situation, I was unable to do anything. It was literally completely out of my hands. There was no phone call I could make. There was no email I could send. There was no loophole. There was nothing. It was absolutely nothing that I could do. I had to completely let it go, and I had to stay out of it. And that's why I wanted Eli to recite that verse for us today, because, well, thanks, April. Because, trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Hello, type A personality over here. Always, I hate the unknown. Like, I have to figure out what's going on. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go, because He's the one that will keep you on track. And then the most important part, don't assume that you know it all. And yes, while we picked that verse for Eli because he is a bit of a know-it-all, I think all of us kind of are. Like, okay, God, I know what's best. I know what will work for me. And then we put these expectations on God. Hey, go back to my expectations videos. And we expect Him to meet our standards, to meet our qualifications, to do what we were thinking was the best remedy for a situation. But God knows all things. He sees all things. Everything is at once for Him. It's linear for us, but He sees all things at once and knows what this thing is going to do to this thing, and it will all turn out for His glory. So we got to stop being God's secretary. Stop being God's assistant. We got to stay out of it. If you're going to give something to Him, even if you are leery and worried, see yesterday's video about that. You don't have to be completely free of worry and concern when you hand something over to Him. But you do have to stay out of it once you hand it over. When you choose to trust Him, regardless of how you feel about the situation, when you choose to hand it over and trust Him with it, you got to stay out of it. You can't be His assistant anymore. You can't try and do all the little things, cross the T's, dot the I's, make the phone calls. You can't do all of that. Trusting Him means giving it to Him despite how we feel, and giving it to Him completely and letting go and staying out of it. So, yeah, that's my thing for today. Stay out of it. Gonna chat a little bit more tomorrow about trusting God, and appreciate y'all tuning in for a little distractive beginning to this video with Eli involved, but I like involving him and having him help me out. So if you found value in this, please feel free to share it. It's important to me that I reach as many people as possible with these words that I feel like God has given me. And then, if you have any similar stories, maybe comment with it in the video so that we can share with each other, so that my story is not the only one. So I'm not alone. But yeah, I think the more that we share, the more that we can encourage each other. So I'd love to hear your stories as well. Everyone have an awesome day. Oh, April, you didn't see him? Yeah. Hop on so you can see Eli. As soon as this posts, you should be able to watch it again. So everyone have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow.